Hey guys, here's my review of The Jungle Book from last year, 2016. It is the third telling of this story in cinematic form, the first being in 1967, the Disney classic The Jungle Book, the other being this 1994 effort, and then this is the most recent telling of the story, based on the stories by Rudyard Kipling. The Jungle Book is a story about Mowgli, a man cub who is raised in the jungle by a pack of wolves and is basically scared out of his pack and running for his life throughout the entire movie from the tiger Shere Khan who wants to eat him. The voice cast of the animals is absolutely inspired in some cases. You have Idris Elba as the voice of Shere Khan, Ben Kingsley as Bagheera, and an absolutely brilliant choice of Bill Murray as Baloo. I mean, that's just genius and works perfectly within the story. You also have Scarlett Johansson, who plays Kaa the snake, who is perfectly seductive. Believe me, she can squeeze me anytime. The only problem with Disney films and snakes is whenever I see a snake in a Disney movie, no matter how good it is like it was here, I always think back to the Disney cartoon Robin Hood and Sir Hiss. Don't know why, it just always pops into my head. And the film has only one live-action character in it, and that's Mowgli, played by Neel Sethi. And this kid does an absolutely brilliant job of holding the whole movie together, especially considering that not one single part of it was filmed in a jungle. It was all filmed on a sound stage. Now, the kid in this film does an absolutely fantastic job. There is no other human element in the film. There's the voice characters, but there's no other human element in the film. This kid is playing off of nothing, and he does an absolutely brilliant job. He holds the movie together, and he is believable. And also something I found, which was something I wasn't really expecting, is he actually draws out, and you actually feel a little bit emotional at certain parts of the movie. The movie does a really good job of connecting and tugging at those heartstrings, which is pretty damn good in my opinion, because essentially you forget that you're watching essentially an entirely CG movie. All of these characters are animated. None of them are real. None of them are actually in camera. These are all computer-generated characters, and you do forget about that. You actually start to watch them communicate and interact with each other, and you forget that these are not real. So, in terms of the CG in this movie, it is absolutely fantastic. I'm telling you, it's absolutely breathtaking. Going back to the voice casting, Bill Murray as Baloo is absolutely fantastic. I couldn't believe how good he was in the role. He is absolutely perfectly cast as this big bear that just wants to laze around and eat honey. And some of the things he does to get Mowgli to get the honey for him, strap him when he gets him into harnesses and stuff, is absolutely hilarious and absolutely brilliant. One of the most absolutely brilliant pieces of casting in the whole movie, though, is Christopher Walken plays King Louie, this big, huge ape, monkey, whatever he is. The scenes where he and Mowgli are together, surrounded by hundreds, probably thousands of tiny little monkeys doing errands for him, is absolutely the funniest part in the whole movie. So as far as the visuals go, with the exception, as I've mentioned, of Mowgli, everything in this movie is computer generated. They didn't go on any location shooting in any jungles. They didn't bring any animals in. Everything that you see in this movie is computer generated. Now that completely just fried my brain when I watched it, because you watch these things, the animals move so realistically. You can tell all of the details on all of the fur and absolutely all of the details on these animals. And the panoramas, the vistas, the actual views you get, the scenes in the jungle are so photorealistic. It's probably the best CG work I've seen in any movie. Speaking about the Jungle Book, where would it be without some of the songs we're all familiar with from the original cartoon version? And you do get those in this movie. You get Bare Necessities, you get I Want to Be Like You, and the versions they put in the movie work within the movie, and I wasn't expecting them to work. I actually wasn't even expecting the songs to appear in the movie. Now, to summarise, I can't say that I was particularly excited when I heard that they were remaking the Jungle Book, hence why it took me a while to get around to watching it. But I've got to admit, it was a very powerful film when I watched it. It was an absolutely brilliant couple of hours. it is a very, very good retelling of the Jungle Book story. It doesn't stray too far from the source material. So all in all, I think the Jungle Book is a really solid retelling of the original story. I think it's a good couple of hours at the cinema. I really enjoyed it. The acting was good, the voices were absolutely brilliant, and I can do nothing else but give the Jungle Book a really good score. I'm going to give it 4.5 out of 5. It's a brilliant story, and I can't see anybody being disappointed when they watch it. So there we go, that's my review of The Jungle Book from 2016. Thanks very much for watching. Let me know down below if you've seen the movie, what you thought of it, and what you think is the best of the current slate of Disney live-action remakes of the classic animated cartoons. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.